I don't know too much about him. He's, as far as I know, he's a wrestler, and he likes to throw punches. He got a little offended. I said that he likes to walk straight forward, and he seemed to get, like, pretty offended at that. I guess, but yeah, I understand. Like, I mean, if I hurt his feelings, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just trying to give an honest assessment of what I saw in the video. But apparently he's a little upset. So I just want to say, John, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings, but I didn't mean anything by
it. Yeah, so I'm not sure if he was being sarcastic. I thought personally when I heard it, he was being sarcastic. I guess you could go either way, but what'd you think, bro?
Oh, he's definitely being sarcastic. Like I said, I mean, he's like, man, you watch, dude, I have more, you know, like I said, he can say what he wants. He goes on an assessment. Man, it's like, who have you fought? You fought nobody. And the only person who's ever fought was that Christian Mupumba, and he got knocked out. So I'm like, dude, the last guy you fought, you know, the guy you knocked out in November, and dude, like I said in my interview, he's a 5-foot midget. I mean, I would love for someone to give me that kind of guy, you know. I fight whoever they throw against me. Like I said, look at my last 3 opponents. They're, you know, Roger Holloway, he's a huge prospect in Canada. Marcus Vanton, another huge prospect in Europe. And now they're bringing a guy who's, you know, Tim Carpenter, who's 8-1. You know, he made it far in the Bellator tournament, you know. But my whole thing is, like, you know, I don't get any give me guys. So, you know, he can think what he wants. He keeps saying I'm a wrestler, but, you know, yeah, I'm a wrestler, but at the same time as when do I wrestle people? You know, I'll stand and bang, and, you know, he can take it as it is. So hopefully he goes and thinks I'm going to wrestle him. But, you know, he's in a world of hurt because I don't mind getting hit, and I guarantee he's not going to like me punching his face.
Right, and another thing he was saying is, now this isn't word for word or anything, but basically he knows the fights that you win. You win the ugly fights, the brawls. He says he's not afraid to stand with anyone, but he doesn't plan on standing with you because that's the way you win the fight.
Yeah, like I said, my whole thing is, he could say what he wants, you know. Go ahead. I love guys who just, you know, guys who just come in and want to take me down. Whoa, you're going to catch some elbows, you're going to catch some knees, do whatever you want. Because, like I said, it doesn't matter how you want to fight. You know, my whole thing, as long as you win the fight, you know, like I said, I have to win these ugly fights because, yeah, you know, I'm protecting myself for one. Another thing is, you know, I'm not fighting slubs. You know, I'm not fighting no, you know, guys who are on the street corner like seems like he's fighting.
Sure.
And, you know, yeah, of course they're going to be 3 rounds of hard-nosed fighting because, you know, these guys are supposed to be tough. I was brought into Bellator to get basically be fishes for these guys, you know, almost a stepping stone for these guys. And, you know, I think Bjorn and Bellator know that, oh, my God, John Hawk's for real. And, you know, he'll, you know, come Friday, you know, he'll actually see, you know, what kind of animal I am.
Hey, man, so let's just get started here with talking about your last fight in Bellator. Just talk about it and how you pulled off the victory.
Okay, you know, Marcus Vantonen, you know, he's a great fighter. You know, we stuck to a game plan. We knew coming in, Bellator announced that he was in the tournament like the week of my fight, which, you know, again, I thought that was a slap in my face.
Sure.
You know, how are you going to put someone in a tournament before he even fights me? You know, almost giving them basically saying, okay, 6 weeks later, you're in the tournament, you're in the you're getting a good payday and everything else. So to me, it's like, okay, they're bringing him in to basically beat the crap out of me. You know, they thought I was going to be an easy fight for him. You know, there's no pun intended. You know, so I took it as an offense because, you know, how are you going to announce someone in a tournament before they fault me? And you know, I proved everybody wrong by sticking to my game plan. We knew that if I pressured them. Stuck to the game plan, worked angles that, you know, he would be a little tentative because I think, you know, I mean, 6 weeks away, you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to get cut. You know, you want to make the tournament to make that payday.
Right.
You know, the big payday. And we kind of knew that going in that he might be a little timid. And my whole thing is like all my other fights, I bring the fight to you. And, you know, I wasn't going to change for this fight, so I brought the fight to him. And, you know, it worked out perfectly. You know, watching that fight too, you know, like I said, I never make excuses about everything, but hey, you know, I was fighting with one arm. After that first round, I couldn't lift my arm. I did something to my bicep, my shoulder, my bicep tendon, where I couldn't even lift my arm above my head. Like
wow.
Second and third round, I don't even remember throwing a jab. That's how bad. That's how much pain I was in. I mean, if you go back and look at that video, you can see me in the corner because they were in my corner every time, on Spike.com, and my coach was like, "You all right?" And I go, "Man, my shoulder." He just said, "Nah, don't worry about it. Third round comes around. I think I said it like 5 times. Like, man, I can't feel my shoulder. I can't. I mean, never been in that much pain in a fight. But I'm a fighter, and like I tell everybody, my other friends and teammates and everything, pain and injuries are feelings. Feelings go away.
Sure.
And we deal with the adversity, everything else, and like I said, Marcus Van. I'm not downgrading Marcus Vantonen at all. He's a tough fighter. He's a world class guy. I talked to him afterwards. But hey, for me, fighting a guy basically with one arm, and to me, I don't think it was a split decision. To be honest, again.
Right.
I don't think, just like I said, judges don't like me for some reason. Maybe just because I'm not the typical 205 guy. Yeah, granted, I walk around 235 and cut. I'm a heavyweight, cuts to 205, and I don't have that typical 205 bodybuilder build. But who cares? I make the weight always. I never not make the weight. So who cares what I look like? People, oh, John, you got, who cares? I'm a big guy. My body's not really meant to be at 205. I push myself to get to 205.
Sure. And
when you're at weigh-ins, man, like I said, I tell man, I look like an AIDS patient. I'm sucked in, dry, everything. It's bad. I tell people stay away from me all week because it's not fun cutting 30 pounds in 4 days.
Right, for sure.
All the time. Like, well, why don't you try to do it? Because naturally, my body likes to be about 230. I might get to 235 just because, I slip off the diet a little bit. But, I'm naturally a big guy, hell, I weighed 370 pounds at one time when I power lifted and everything else. So,
holy shit, dude.
Yeah, so I'm naturally a big guy. So I don't know what the judges always have against me, but, man, it's like a lot of my fights, I'm like, how does it get the split decision? And, like, against Marcus Vantonen, man, when that first judge said 30-27, Marcus Vantonen, I about shit myself. Because I was like, man, this is Canada again. Because I'm like, how did one judge see Marcus Vantonen win all 3 rounds?
Yeah.
It really, really baffled me. I was like, man, maybe he was drunk and was watching a fight in the stands, or maybe he was getting divorced and was thinking about something else. But man, that really ticked me off. I was panic mode because I was like, man, just like in Canada, man, I thought I had the fight. I thought I had to fight, one and done. I mean, just like against Roger Hollett. He's a great fighter, but, hey, I threw him on punches. I even cut him up really bad, and I thought I pushed the action. I had cage control and everything else. But, judges, I guess, don't see that, and that's why I have a beef. Like, my whole thing is I point out the Pacquiao-Bradley fight. Some of these judges don't know what they're talking about. I mean, no offense, man. Watch that fight again. Pacquiao, he won 9-10 rounds.
Sure.
I mean, what are they looking at? I mean, I don't know, and that's why I'm a big component of, judges should be former fighters, something like coaches. They should be in the sport.
Sure.
Who cares? They get a judge who's a kung fu guy, one who's a former boxer, one who's a wrestler. I mean, you got 3 different things. I mean, they're looking at their specialty. Oh, if you got a guy who's a wrestler, yeah, he's going to look at a guy who just does wrestling. You look at a guy who's a straight-up boxer, he's going to look at the guy, oh, man, he has great boxing technique. He won that round. It's like, no, man, this is a fight. Who scores more points? Who has cage control? Who's pushing the action? That's how they should judge it. And so, my whole thing is, just like my teammate, Forrest Petz, he's a UFC, former UFC fighter. He's also a referee, too, and I think he's one of the better refs in Ohio. You call me biased, but ask a lot of people. Forrest Petz is pretty legit as a ref, and that goes because he's a fighter. He's been there, done that. He still fights. He still trains, and he knows what to look for and everything else. So, just like that, just like with a referee standpoint, they should be qualified. They should be testing, or they should be like, you know what, hey, to be a judge, you need to be qualified. You need to be in the sport a couple years because until then, we're going to have crazy decisions and everything else. Got lopsided and, like everybody says, oh, don't let it go to a decision. But at the same time, as my case, I always look at, hey, I'm a guy who's always the underdog, bringing the fights. They're not. I'm actually, they bring me in to actually get knocked out. I'm not actually brought in to knock this guy out. So yeah, I have a feeling most of my fights are going to be 3-round fights because they're going to be wars because they're bringing me against highly rated prospects that. So I do my best, and if I don't get a knockout, well, I'm going to push the action for all 3 rounds.
Now, this is getting a little off topic, but what would you think of live scoring, knowing the score after each round?
Oh, I mean, that'd be perfect in a way because, for the fact that people here's a downplay where people say, well,
yeah,
the guy's up 2-0. Well, who cares if he's up 2-0? Most guys, anyways, in the corners. I mean, most people are legit, anyways. Like saying if you hear corner guys, you can hear the corner going, okay, man, you're up 2-0. Just don't get knocked out. Be safe.
Right.
Or if it's 1-1 going to the third round, you'll hear them go, man, we need this round. You got to win. Or if the guy's down 2 rounds, you always hear, man, we need the knockout.
For sure.
It's live scoring, but at the same time, is we can see what the hell these freaking judges are looking at.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind live scoring at all because we do. I mean, technically there's not live scoring, but at the same time, we do it anyways. Like I said, look at every corner between every round. You can hear the coaches going, "Well, we won that round." Or man, we lost that round. We got to pick it up this round. So it's the same thing as live scoring, but now I will know, okay, shit, live scoring. If I'm down, if it's 1-1, you'll know that one of the guys, if he's smart, he'll go for the kill, and that'll make the sport even better for the fact that he's going to go out there and not play it safe because he knows that whoever wins this round is going to win. So he might be so if I know that if it's 1-1 going to the third round, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to push the pace. I'm going to control the fight. I'm going to go for the knockout. Look for the knockout anyways because I know if I win this third round, I win the fight. So to me, live scoring it'd be awesome if they could do it. Maybe they should do a test run of it because that sounds like a freaking fantastic idea.
For sure, man. Okay, let's move on here. How's your health heading into this fight?
Oh, it's good, man. I mean, shoulders healed up. I'm fine. The only thing, like I said, the only thing sucks about this week is that weight cut.
Right.
Cutting weight, and just like always, man. But I'm right on track of cutting weight, and no worries. We have good teammates and coaches who we have. Like I said, I've been cutting weight for a long time with wrestling my whole life and everything else. So, I have everything down packed. I'm not very worried. Injuries are, everybody's beat up, but there's not to a point where, oh my God, I'm hurt. I'm going in there, healthy, and I'm ready to fight.
Okay, man. We started off the show talking a little bit of Tim Carpenter. Do you think he's looking past you?
Oh, of course he is. Like I said, just like that apologies. He's just looking past me. He thinks he wants to be funny and this and that. I mean, go ahead, be funny. I don't give a shit. Look past me. That's the best thing. That's the best thing you can do is look past me because you're going to come into this fight thinking, oh, man, he's just another pushover. I'm going to go there. I'm going to take it down. I'm going to take this control. But you know what? Just like Roger Hollett felt, just like Marcus Ventanen felt. Man, when that cage door locks, oh, shit, there's a different beast in there.
Right.
I'm not a pushover. Like I said, he can say, oh, I'm a straight-up fighter. I'm just a brawler. Man, you can call me what you want. I'm a fighter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you win the fight. Winning the fight is the key. So, I've never heard someone go, oh, man, this guy's a brawler, but, he's a world champion. Who gives a shit? He's a world champion. At the same time, I'm a big 205-pounder. I know I'm one of the bigger 205-pounders out there. And, these guys will feel it in my fight for sure.
Okay, man. Let's talk about some of your teammates that have helped you get ready for this fight. We know Stipe and all those guys, Rogers, a lot of your more famous teammates, but how about some of the other guys we don't really know that have helped you get ready for this fight?
Well, my main training partner is Stipe Miocic and Brian Rogers, of course.
Right.
I mean, them guys are world class and they help me out with everything. You got Nick Duell, who was a former NWFS champ. He's been training. He's had a couple rough fights lately, but man, this dude's world class. A 170-pounder. He walks around 205 right now, so he's been helping a lot. Just like Forrest Petts, of course, like I brought his name up there. He walks around 200. He fights at 170, but he walks around 200 pounds. He has great hands. He's a veteran. Has I think 30-some pro fights. So he's a veteran at what he does. We have a couple guys we brought in. Another jiu-jitsu coach, Steve Kines. He's a Cleveland police officer who's helped me out. He's real good at big man jiu-jitsu, I guess you want to call it. Pablo Castro is awesome. He's a great jiu-jitsu coach. But a lot of times too, I need from being a bigger guy, you need a big guy standpoint because some of those, I'm not going to do no flying knee bar or some crazy thing. I need big, I need a big guy's opinion. So, he's coming, he's helped out this whole camp. Just a lot of people. Another guy, his name's John Fields. Nickname. He hasn't fought in a while, but he's been at the strong style now for the last 6 months. His pro record's not the best, but man, he's tough, dude. I mean, I don't think when he's fought, he really hasn't had a camp. So since he's been up here, man, he has great hands. He's an 85-pounder. He fought at 205. He's an 85-pounder. He's a good fighter. He helps out a lot too. And I got the smaller teammates too, like my roommate Cody Garbrandt. He helps out a lot too. He's a 135-pounder, but at the same time is, just not any help with training. You got a guy who I can condition with, guys who wakes me up in the morning. We go for the run. We do our lifts together. Guys who motivate you like that. I'm trying to think Johnny Soder. He's a fighter too. He hasn't fought in probably a year or so, but he's making a comeback. He's another 205-pounder, 85-pounder that. You look him up. He's pretty legit too. He's not a bad guy too, but he has good hands, good feet, and so bringing him. And there's a couple other guys who came in here from different camps, strictly jiu-jitsu guys, basically to help. Like I said, Tim Carpenter's a jiu-jitsu guy. So I just worked on jiu-jitsu a little, nothing crazy. And like I said, I'm not a big jiu-jitsu guy. I really don't care about jiu-jitsu. Like I told in my other interviews, man, belts are good for just keeping my pants up. My jiu-jitsu is good for MMA, and that's all you need it for is good defense and everything else. I don't care if you're a black belt, purple belt, who cares? When my right hand hits you, that belt goes out the door, and and that's it.
Okay, man. We're making it a bit of a tradition when you come on the show to give shout-outs to your roommates and friends.
Oh, of course. Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely count my roommate, Cody Garbrandt, all my teammates at Strong Style. My boys in Columbus, man, the Tri-C, you can't forget them. They go to all my fights, man. No matter where they go, they travel wherever, man. My brother, of course, my brother Mike, he's my heart and soul. He's with me, from basically a couple days for the fight all the way to fight, man. He's always by my side. I don't know what you want to call him. I guess you want to call him my assistant in a way because, he does everything for me. Whatever I need. If I need this, I need, getting me Pedialyte, I need, he needs someone to drive me. He's my brains because, cutting all this weight, man, sometimes I'm not all the way there. And, he does everything for me. So, for being a brother, I appreciate that. That's, I love him to death, Another thing too, having a girlfriend, my girlfriend Taylor, that's hard to deal with, like girls are, I guess you got to appreciate having a girlfriend or a wife, man, when you're a fighter because it ain't easy dealing with our attitude, especially when we're cutting all this weight,
right.
And, going through the grind of training, and it's rough, but it's nice when they stick by you for sure.
Okay, man. Final question here is: injuries have really been rocking the sport. What do you think's up with all the injuries?
You know what? I forget who said it. I seen someone said it, but this is a violent sport.
Sure.
This is a freaking violent sport, so injuries going to happen all the freaking time, it just goes, I would say 95% of injuries happen in training. What happened, when most of us train 7 to 8 hours a day, something's about to happen, you got guys in there trying to prove themselves, a little tweaking there, say you have an off day and another guy has an on day. It happens, just like, I guess with anybody else, I said, man, it's just like, boxing, people, but we do everything. We kick, we elbow, we knee, just everything. We groundwork. So, when people tweak themselves, man, it's just part of the sport. That's what I said, it's definitely a violent sport that, it's basically taking two freaking cars and crashing them together.
Right.
On a daily basis. So, my whole thing is people injured. Man, they happen. Sometimes injuries just happen lately. So now it's a little more mainstream. But man, they happen all the time. Granted, I don't know why people are looking at now, but man, look at the past, man. Everybody's getting injured. Knock on wood, and thank Jesus up there that I'm healthy right now, and I can continue to fight right now and haven't been seriously injured.
Okay, man, and would you like to thank any sponsors, promote your Twitter or Facebook?
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. You can hit me up at Twitter at Big John Hawk. Facebook with me at John Hawk. I want to thank, Marcus Marinelli, Pablo Castro, Joe Del Guy, Steve Kindness, all my teammates at Strong Style, man. We're all a big family there. We all work together. My sponsor, John P. Lennon, Intimidation Clothing, which I see you got the
right here, buddy.
Yeah, they're a big sponsor of mine too. Been with me for a while. Bill Jackson Roofing, Custom Event Apparel, Fast Graphics. My strength and conditioning coach, Cal Correll, Diverse Training Systems, one of the best strength and conditioning coaches out there for MMA, for all kinds of sports, man. Dude's definitely legit. I got True Assassin, AKI, Fight Gear, Hexlink Photos, and Verizon Wireless. You know, and like another thing too, like I said, I like to, you know, always thank my brother, man, because without him, man, I don't know where I'll be on a couple days before fights and everything else. And, you know, like I said, he's my heart and soul. He's my rock that keeps me going and keeps me pushing through to make the last weight cut. And, you know, thank my family and my girlfriend, man. Thanks for sticking by me and, you know, through all the ups and downs of my career and, you know, friends and everything else, man. You know, the people who stick by are the real ones. So, you know, I appreciate everybody for sure. And thanks you, you know, Mark, thank you again, man.
Oh,
I love
thank
doing
you.
it, man. And, you know, I always love coming on here, man, because it's a fun time for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to have to get you back on with a W.
Oh, definitely, man. I definitely, you know, like I said, that Tim Carpenter want to run his mouth, want to talk shit, that's fine, man. You know, he'll be in a rude awakening come June 22nd this Friday. And, you know, there'll be a little surprise maybe come weigh-ins on Thursday too. But you know what? My whole thing is don't really disrespect me because, you know, don't disrespect me because I'll disrespect you right back, you know.
Right on.
This is a sport of respect and sportsmanship. And, you know, like I said, I know a lot of people like to trash talk and, you know, to build up a fight. But you know what? If you want to build a fight and trash talk, more power to you because I'll talk right back. But you know what? I talk the talk and I definitely walk the walk.
Nice, man. Nice. Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
Yep, thanks. Mark,
Okay.
I appreciate it, buddy.
See ya.
Yep, see ya.